Welcome to my channel. Have you ever found yourself wishing you could speak English fluently, yet feeling like it would take years of study to get there? The reality is, with the proper habits and a commitment to daily practice, your English skills can advance far more quickly than you might imagine. In this video, I'm going to share a straightforward 1-month strategy that can help you begin speaking English with greater self-assurance. If someone had told me years ago that you could make remarkable progress in your English fluency within just 30 days, I probably would have offered a polite smile and quietly thought to myself, that sounds completely unrealistic. Because, like countless people across the globe, I was convinced that fluency demanded years spent in classrooms, poring over dense grammar manuals, and depending on faultless teachers to correct every minor error. Yet, life has a remarkable way of delivering profound insights when you least anticipate them. The simple fact is that fluency is not achieved by studying English in a detached way. Fluency is achieved by immersing yourself in English and making it a living part of your existence. Once you truly embrace this concept, everything shifts. Consider the way a young child acquires their mother tongue. They don't start with grammatical rules. They don't memorize endless lists of vocabulary. Instead, they simply listen, observe, mimic, and keep attempting. Initially, their speech is slow, then imperfect, and eventually it becomes confident. Language unfolds organically when it is woven into the fabric of everyday life. This is precisely the underlying principle behind becoming fluent in English within 1 month. Not flawless English, not scholarly English, but genuine, confident, and comfortable communication. The first component of this 1-month fluency approach is immersion. If you want English to feel natural to you, you must surround yourself with it constantly. Your mobile device, the videos you watch, the music you enjoy, even your internal thoughts, all of these should incorporate English in some manner. The more your brain is exposed to English, the more it begins to detect recurring patterns. Reflect on this. If you encounter a word just once a week, your brain is likely to forget it. But if you hear that same word 10 times in a single day, it quickly becomes familiar. Familiar words transform into comfortable words, and comfortable words eventually become words you speak. Therefore, over the course of this month, make English an integral part of your surroundings. Watch interviews, tune into podcasts, follow English-speaking content creators, and even switch your phone's language setting to English. Initially, this might feel disorienting, but confusion is not a setback. It is, in fact, the very starting point of learning. The second step is to practice speaking every single day. Fluency is like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, it will never grow stronger. A great many learners comprehend English well enough but struggle to speak it because they are perpetually waiting for the perfect sentence to form. Yet, perfection is the greatest enemy of progress. Instead of aiming for flawless speech, concentrate on conveying your thoughts. Talk about your daily activities. Describe what you see around you. Share your future plans, your past memories, and your personal opinions. Even if your sentences are quite basic, your brain is actively practicing the fundamental skill of constructing language. You can speak to yourself while you are walking, preparing a meal, or relaxing in your room. Some people might feel a little awkward doing this at first. But keep in mind that athletes frequently practice alone before they perform in front of an audience. Language operates on the same principle. When you practice speaking daily, something almost magical begins to occur. Your mind starts to respond more quickly. Words begin to emerge effortlessly. Sentences feel easier to assemble. And gradually, confidence replaces fear. The third element of the 1-month fluency formula is active listening. Listening serves as the crucial bridge between understanding and speaking. However, passive listening alone is insufficient. You need to listen with full attention, select brief videos, conversations, or speeches, and carefully observe how people articulate their ideas. Pay close attention to their rhythm, their pauses, and their tone. Notice how they link words together in a natural flow. Occasionally, repeat the sentences after the speaker. This straightforward exercise trains both your mouth and your ears simultaneously. It enhances your pronunciation and helps you develop natural speech patterns. Many learners attempt to memorize complex or advanced vocabulary, yet native speakers frequently communicate using simple words combined in natural ways. Mastering these patterns is significantly more effective than memorizing difficult terminology. The fourth step is learning to think directly in English. Most learners habitually translate from their native language before they speak. This creates hesitation because the brain is essentially performing two tasks at once, thinking in one language and speaking in another. However, if you begin to think directly in English, your communication becomes noticeably faster. Start small. Look around your room and name the objects you see in English. Describe what you are doing. Instead of mentally framing a sentence as, I need to translate this, simply express the idea in straightforward English. For instance, rather than constructing an elaborate sentence, you might say, I'm feeling tired right now, or I'll work later, or this food smells wonderful. Simple thoughts lay a strong foundation. Within just a few days, you will find your mind beginning to formulate English ideas more naturally. The fifth step involves creating a consistent daily learning routine. Fluency is not developed by studying once a week. It grows from regular, daily exposure. You don't need to dedicate 6 hours a day. Even one focused hour, if used wisely, can dramatically transform your progress. Imagine a routine structured like this: 20 minutes of listening to English content, 20 minutes of speaking practice, and 20 minutes of learning new expressions. In just 60 minutes, you are actively strengthening 3 key skills: listening, speaking, and vocabulary. Consistency is far more crucial than sheer intensity. Small actions, performed daily, accumulate into significant results over time. The sixth step is to embrace your mistakes without fear. Many learners remain silent because they are afraid of being wrong. But mistakes are not signs of failure. They are signs of genuine effort. Every fluent speaker you admire once produced incorrect sentences. Every confident communicator once wrestled with pronunciation. Yet they continued speaking anyway. Think of your mistakes as stepping stones. Each error teaches your brain something valuable. Each correction sharpens your accuracy. The only genuine mistake is the refusal to try at all. When you accept imperfection, you liberate yourself to practice more boldly. And practice, after all, is the true engine of fluency. The seventh step in this 1-month strategy is to learn useful phrases rather than isolated individual words. Real communication happens through the everyday phrases that people use repeatedly. Expressions such as, to be honest, in my opinion, I think the reason is, and it depends, appear constantly in conversations. When you learn phrases like these, you gain ready-made tools to express your ideas quickly and naturally. Instead of searching for each word individually, you can use these natural building blocks to speak with greater smoothness. Over time, your speech will become more fluid and authentic. The eighth step is to record yourself speaking. This is one of the most powerful yet undervalued methods of learning. When you record your voice, you become both the speaker and the listener. You start to notice your pronunciation, your hesitations, and the areas where you can improve. At first, you might feel uncomfortable hearing your own voice. But after a few recordings, you'll begin to recognize tangible progress. You will observe that your sentences are becoming longer, your pauses shorter, and your confidence stronger. Your own voice becomes living proof that improvement is taking place. The ninth step is to connect English with your real life. Language should never feel like a mere academic subject. It should feel like a practical tool for daily living. Use English when you search for information online. Write short diary entries in English. Leave comments on videos in English. Send voice messages to friends who are also learning. When English becomes part of your everyday life, rather than a separate activity, fluency develops far more naturally and effortlessly. And finally, the most essential step in this entire 1 month formula is belief. If you constantly tell yourself, my English is terrible, your brain will accept that identity and act accordingly. But if you begin to say, I am improving every single day, your mind will start seeking evidence of that progress. Confidence grows from consistent action. You do not need to sound like a native speaker in 30 days. Fluency does not mean perfection. Fluency means having the ability to express yourself without being paralyzed by fear. When you follow this formula, immersing yourself in English, speaking daily, listening with intention, thinking in English, practicing consistently, accepting your mistakes, learning useful phrases, recording your voice, and connecting English with your real-world activities, something truly powerful happens within a single month.